Limerick really have magnificent support here this afternoon. It will be a huge disappointment for their fans if they can't win back the Munster title, but likewise Tip, they haven't won it since 1993. George Friend there, trying to make life really rough for Damien Quigley, but in a very disciplined way. On it comes towards Ciaran Carey. You can see the intensity of the Tip backs there, chasing after, harassing and harrying everything. Sean O'Neill, and he has put it over the bar. Another point to play for Limerick, this time scored by the midfield player Sean O'Neill for Murrow Boher. So it's 113 to 7 points, but lots more like that required if Limerick are to make a match of it. Mike Houlihan, Mike Gallagher now. Well, one thing's fairly certain, Tip are not taking that foot off the pedal one little bit. They're challenging for everything, same as they were in the first half, and he's got a lot of problems. Estimated 40,000 present here for this Guinness Munster Hurling Championship final. Mike Houlihan went off the stick of Liam McGrath. The momentum carrying it forward into the inside forward line. George Friend trying to get out ahead of Damien Quigley, who's looked a bit ring rusty. Sean O'Neill, Quigley still waiting there for it, but the referee says foul by George Friend, free in. Bonnar questioning the decision. So as always, it falls to Gary Kirby, looking for his 6th pointed free. Lobbing in and lobbed over. Well, he got 12 points last year, half that tally so far, 113 to 8 points, and Frankie Carroll has just joined the action. Tony, you've got some news.
Yes, it's Damien Quigley who will be coming off for Limerick. I was talking to the Limerick bench just a few short moments ago. They said right now it looks like we can make 10 changes. We'll only make 1 for the moment. 5 more minutes, we'll see.
Thanks, Tony. So Quigley goes. Frankie's on. Here's Mark Foley. Down in the general direction there of O'Neill. O'Neill has gone back to top of the right. Switching back there with Paudge Tobin. Brendan Carroll, and as far as Brad O'Mara. Limerick's ball. Disappointment then for Damien Quigley this afternoon from the Matirshik's club, accompanied off there by Dave Mahidi. And he's still pacing up and down the sideline there, calling out the instructions, urging on his men, feeling it can still be done. Certainly time is on their side if they can grind down this Tipperary team and get a break or two. Oh, that was a break, but TJ Ryan couldn't connect. He's put it wide, but it was a real chance.
Yes, sure, I think that was a great chance for Limerick to get a goal back at this stage. Great sideline cut by Mike Houlihan, and when you see the ball coming through, it breaks nicely for TJ Ryan, and if he had made any contact on the ball, I'm sure he would have buried it to the back of the net.
Completely mishit. Again, Limerick trying to win it back on their own half-back line through Mark Foley. Strong challenge there from Conal Bonnar. Michael Cleary playing as if his life depended upon this one. That's Mike Houlihan. Cross towards Owen O'Neill, sails over his head, over the head of Michael Ryan as well. Paul Shelly racing after it. Beats the ball for pace. Shelly from Killinall in County Tip. And he certainly solved a problem area there for Tipperary this year. It'll be Michael Ryan to hit this. Limerick having used 2 of their 3 subs. Tip continuing to depend upon the 15 who started. And you can be sure that if the selectors note any flagging on their part, they've got the subs to come on. That's Brian O'Mara. Peering in over the shoulder of the man in front of him, watching Mike Houlihan come to take the sideline cut. The line there is the 65-metre line. Nicely up. Inside towards John Leahy. And it's Gary Kirby against there, and Gary Kirby has put it over the bar. That's the kind of leadership now that Limerick really need. And now just a goal and 4 points behind. Gary's first point from play coming here. He worked hard for that one, got there ahead of his man, and then drove it over the bar. And now the roars from the Limerick fans here in their own Gaelic grounds on the Ennis Road. Here's John Leahy, drop hitting it again. Michael Cleary containing it. Steve McDonagh recovered from injury, but stopped away from him by Tommy Dunn. This is Liam Call. Against 3 men, he still got his shot in, but he misdirects. He's missed a couple in the second half. Well, that's understandable here in his first Munster final.
Yes, but great play again by John Leahy, and it's a skill we haven't seen too often in the past. A guy dropping the ball like that across the field, a great skill.
It's back with Gary Kirby, beating the attempted block of Brian O'Mara. Colm Bonnar is back, saying to Mike Galligan, out of my way. Galligan appealing for a free. Remi Ryan hitting it downfield. Down towards Liam Cahill. Liam McGrath's in there next against Mike Houlihan. Nobody got anything on it. Instead it's Mark Foley. Declan Nash down on the ground all this while as play continues. Brendan Carroll hooped the first time by Gary Kirby. Comes to Ciaran Carey. He'll go for the score from here. Can he make it? The answer, yes! The hero from the last day. The Limerick captain getting his first point, and now it's just a goal and 3 points between these teams. And those who had faith and stayed on believe it's still possible.
Yes, Ger, the changes that Limerick have brought about seem to be working. Ciaran Carey has came much more into the game. Michael Houlihan there, residing ball, came much more into the game.
And Aidan Ryan is pacing up and down the field as we watch that injured player over there. Barry Foley also being got ready. Declan Nash. So running repairs being carried out in 2 parts of the field. Aidan Ryan about to come in. One of those who linked up with the great days of Tipperary when they started out on their quest to win back the Munster in '87. Tom Ryan in there concerned about Declan Nash. Brendan Carroll's back on his feet, the number 7 for Tipperary, who was being attended to. Aidan Ryan, he's in. Conal Bonnar is going back to left half back. Brendan Carroll's coming off. Aidan Ryan's got into midfield to lift Tipperary again. That's good play, I think, by the Tipperary mentors. Just the hint of a little crisis that Limerick were getting back into it. Spring a fresh man from the bench. Mike Galligan towards Ciaran Carey. Oh, Brian O'Mara's gone down injured. Meanwhile, it's John Leahy. Declan Nash getting out ahead of his man being Liam Cahill. Mike Houlihan playing it downfield. O'Mara's back at his feet again as that ball comes in towards TJ Ryan, and it hits the post and goes outside. Oh dear, oh dear. Well, Lady Luck was shining on him this afternoon. TJ Ryan by now might have had 2 goals.
Yes, Jerry, a high ball again into the square, breaks in behind the full back line, and TJ Ryan was first to react. Gets a touch with, keeper was beaten and hits the post and go wide. Very unlucky.
But it's a much better second half by Limerick. Brian O'Mara picking up the loose knock there. Or at least a loose hurling. And now the Limerick fans trying to enjoy a kind of carnival atmosphere. They've waited for their team to perform. It's taken them all of the first half just to get into the game. That'll be Barry Foley coming in very soon, we feel. The 19-year-old chicken farmer, as he described in the match programme. Scorer of 2 great points, of course, against Clare. But the running repairs continuing for Brian O'Mara. That's the knock there he received a little while ago. Now we've got some news from Tony.
Well, Barry Foley is warming up, as you say. We're not sure yet on the Limerick bench exactly who he's replacing. There's a little bit of indecision there because obviously there's been a few injuries in that. Barry's a forward, they'll need to score. We're not sure yet who's coming off. Nicky English, I can tell you, is warming up as well in front of me here in the Tipperary dugout. And if Nicky is to come on very shortly, it looks like he will. He's getting his socks sorted. Tommy Dunn is the man that will come off the field. So two changes very likely. Barry Foley limbering up and Nicky English stripping now and getting ready for the fray.
Okay, Tony. So Nicky is ready to come in. Ryan O'Mara has been in the wars. Willie Bennett attending to him there. Son of the great Aussie.
There seems to be a lot of changes all over the field. Liam Cahill has gone to centre forward and Liam McGrath has gone to corner forward.
There's 15 minutes left in the Guinness Munster Hurling Final for 1996. Aidan Ryan, first touch, first chance to impress. Takes too many steps and charges. Free to Limerick. Both celebrations then showing their hand. There's a student of the code looking on, wondering what's going to happen, as we all are. 6 points between the teams. Mike Houlihan dropping it in there around the house. Limerick looking for that break, and Mike Gallagher has got that break and he's put it over the bar. Slowly but surely, they ease into Tipperary's half-time lead of 10 points. Gallagher's first point, saluted by the fans, coming from a free from Mike Houlihan. Dropped in there dangerously, tipped back there in numbers. Limerick just waiting for something, and it came to Mike Gallagher, and he put it over with aplomb. Nicky English has gone into the referee to give the little slip of paper, and it's Dave Clarke going downfield. This is a great deal better by Limerick. This is what the fans have come here to see. Now it's been put up to the tip men. In towards Paudge Tobin, runs on there towards TJ Ryan, looking for something, anything. Stopped instead by Paul Shelly. Out to Michael Ryan. Up it comes to John Leahy. Not stopped by Mike Gallagher. Gallagher playing the game and playing really well. The clearance out of defence, stopped by Mark Foley. Well, this is a bit more like the Munster final. We could be in for a great finish now.
Yes, Ciaran, great play by Limerick at the moment, and if they're to win this match, they've got to keep this up now for the remainder of the game. They're really taking the game to Tipperary.
The man who's gone off is Liam McGrath, by the way. So English on. And Declan Ryan has come out to pick up Mike Houlihan. Nicky English has gone in full forward there on Mike Nash. Changes aplenty. Limerick with this free to Gary Kirby. They look for another one. They believe it's possible. It may well be. That's 8 points now for Gary Kirby. 7 from frees, 1 from play. And look at this for a scoreline. 113 to 12 points. Tom Ryan pacing up and down. Fans rubbing their hands with glee. Limerick fans believing it's possible. 1973, the last meeting of these teams. And then it was Richie Bellis with the last puck of the game to win it. It may come down to that yet. Frankie Carroll into space, in towards TJ Ryan, operating at top of the left in place of Damien Quigley. George Friend is across there as well. Ryan beating him for once. Going by. Awkward angle. George Friend trying to get in a challenge. The shot has gone sailing over the bar. It's another point for Limerick. TJ Ryan's first point. Well, it was all tip for 35 minutes, and now it's been all Limerick for the bones of 30 minutes. This was a great score, a piece of individualism from TJ Ryan, from Gary Spillane. Take that. Only a goal in it. What a transformation. Mark Foley now, his side dead, buried, out of it. Now they're back in it again. Here's Mike Gallagher, play on, the referee says. In it goes, they chase it after it. Paudge Tobin in there, a man who's got a penchant for scoring goals, given the chance. Paul Shelly trying to knock it out. George Friend getting by. Friend looking for support, trying to clear it out. And again a stylish clearance by George Friend, but this time he's put it out over the far sideline. Well, the live action has turned into a thriller.
Yes, Joe, great play by Limerick, but I just wonder whether they might be better putting Gary Kirby into full forward, because they're not getting a great return from the high balls that are going around the square. And with Gary's experience, if Limerick could get a goal at this point in time, I'm sure they could go on and win the match.
It'll be Frankie Carroll to take it. In towards TJ Ryan, takes it down to himself, goes by George Friend, the shot has gone over the bar, and now Limerick are within 2 points. 2 points in a row for TJ Ryan. Delirious Limerick Limerick fans who must have been thinking at half time, if we don't get something going fast, I'm heading for the car. But they're not now.